This is the growth strategist, Ambler, with your tip of the week. You want to make an experienced CFO angry. Here's how to do it. You ask them to prepare all kinds of fancy budgets, and you want them to change the cash management system and secure new financing, etc., etc., when there isn't a clear strategic direction articulated. That'll do it. Or if it doesn't exist, that'll get them ticked off. Or another way to do it is waste their time doing strategic planning meetings and going through the motions when everybody in the room knows you are already in the process of implementing a strong strategic plan. And the CFO could be out doing real work, like closing on that bank deal that you need or providing valuable information that optimizes capacity. The thing is, a lot of companies don't pause to ask, what kind of planning do you need this year? Do you need real strategic planning, or do you need updated operational, tactical plans? Right now, I got a technique to give you that helps you understand when you need which. When we come in, sometimes we pose what I call a triple-double option. We've used it before. I've written about it. You've probably seen it in some of my blogs or heard it in some of my speeches. And it basically is fairly simple. It poses, you get your executive group together and you ask, could we triple gross revenue while only doubling operating expenses? You get the most amazing, juicy responses to that. For one thing, some people just jump to the conclusion that behind the question is the assumption of the word quick, that you have to triple quickly. And it just raises to the surface the worries that people have about insufficient systems or being understaffed or limited production capacity or the lack of quality control. Now that's all important information to hear, but it can be answered by stepped-up tactical, operationally focused planning. So you're not talking about changing the product mix and how fast you're growing and are you going to Europe and should you be doing an acquisition. This is a operational kind of a thing. Now, most companies don't actually commit to tripling. I'm not recommending that you do that, but it is a really good exercise to wake people up. That's what it sounds like if you should just do tactical planning. I have a client right now that's been doing a lot of research over the last year on some system changes and pricing changes and such, and they just have to go through tactical planning right now. If they revisit their strategy too much, they're going to feel like a centipede trying to revisit how they walk. Now, what would the members of your leadership team have to sound for you to know you need strategic planning? Here's what it sounds like. You pose the same thing. Pose, could we triple gross revenue and only double operating expenses? And one of your execs comes back and says, well, wait a minute, I've got questions about whether or not the market is already saturated, and maybe it's changing too fast. I'm not sure we're up to speed for us to know how to triple. I'm worried about, industry consolidation, the competitors, all the roll-ups that are out there. Or another one could say, look, I'm confused about why the Net Promoter Score is going down. Our customers are not raving fans and referring us like they used to be, and to drive tripling, we would need that. Another one might say, I'm frustrated that our sales cycle seems to be expanding and the closing rate is shrinking. Another one might say, I don't know how to say this. I just disagree with the direction we're going, and there doesn't seem to be any excitement about what we're talking about. Another one would just sit there flat and go, we've talked about it individually, but I think we have, the people behind us, they have a lack of confidence in us as leaders. And I'm wondering. And they don't even know how to finish the sentence. Another one might say, look, I'm pessimistic that this company can, I'm skeptical. I don't know if we could lift off the plateau we've been on for the last few years. And maybe somebody else says, I've got concerns about our company's, capacity to attract some of these bright, talented young people that everybody else seems to get. Do you hear the pattern of what they're saying? They have words like questions, worry, confusion, frustration, disagreement, lack of excitement, lack of confidence, pessimism, skepticism, concerns about things related to the marketplace, customers. Then you need strategic planning, not just operational, tactically focused updates and improvements. You hear it? This is the growth strategist, Ambler, with your tip of the week.